Welcome to the channel. Today we discuss AWS CWI Part B, how to prepare for the practical exam. Part B, practical exam for CWI. CWI is a hands-on test. This means you will actually use welding inspection equipment and perform practical tasks. The exam has 46 questions, 120 minutes, 2 hours to complete the exam, and the questions are based on the practical activities you do perform. You need at least 72% to pass. You will mainly need to know 3 things. 1. WPS and PQR. Learn how to read and use welding procedure specifications and procedure qualification records. You may need to check whether the welding work follows the correct procedures. 2. Inspection tools and methods. Learn how to use different welding inspection tools. You will check welds for defects, measurements, and other requirements. 3. Perform required welds. You may be required to carry out or examine specific welds. You need to understand whether the weld meets the required standard. What do you do in Part B exam? Read welding documents. You will look at documents such as WPS, PQR, and WQTR. You need to understand the information and use it to answer questions. Number 2. Examine welding replicas. You will inspect plastic weld replicas that represent different weld conditions. You will look for weld defects or problems. Use inspection tools. You will use tools such as weld gauges and calipers. You will take measurements and decide if the weld is acceptable or rejectable. There are 2 important books you will use to reference during the exam. Book of Specification (BOS) contains the requirements and specifications you need to follow. US Customary BOS for the US candidates and metric BOS all over the world candidates except USA. This is one of the most important reference during Part B. Practice finding information quickly because time is limited. Second book is Book of Exhibit (BOE). Contains useful materials such as drawings, WPSs, PQRs, and WQTRs. Part B tests your practical welding inspection skills. You need to know how to use tools, inspect welds, understand test results, and decide whether a weld is acceptable. Number 1. Tool usage. Practice using the actual type of gauges and measuring tools. You should be able to identify the tools, take a measurement, and read it accurately without wasting time. You will use different inspection tools such as fillet weld gauge, measures the size and shape of the fillet weld. Vivac gauge help measure weld dimensions and discontinuities. Dial calipers measure length, thickness, and other dimensions accurately. Other tools: bevel gauges, high-low gauges, 6-inch steel ruler, torch, magnifying glass. Simple meaning: you should be comfortable using these tools and reading their measurements quickly. Number 2. Weld replicas. You must inspect plastic replicas of different welds such as pipes, T-joints, lap joints, groove weld plates. You will look for discontinuities or defects and measure these size. Simple meaning: look at the replica, find the problem, measure it, and decide whether it is acceptable. Number 3, mechanical test. You need to understand bend test results, WPS PQR requirements, mill induced discontinuities. Simple meaning: you must know how to read test results and check whether the welding procedure meets the required requirements. Visual acceptance. You will use the applicable code requirements to decide whether a weld should be accepted, the weld meets the requirements, rejected, repair, the weld does not meet the requirements. Exam day tips. Manage your time. You have 120 minutes for 46 questions, which is about 2.6 minutes per question. Do not spend too much time on one difficult question. If you are having trouble with a replica measurement or code requirement, mark that question and move on. Come back to difficult question after finish the easier ones. Simple rule: if you are stuck, skip it and return later. Number 2, answer every question. Try to answer all 46 questions. Do not leave questions blank. If you are unsure, eliminate the wrong choices and make your best choice. Your goal is to reach at least 72%. Simple rule: never leave an answer blank. Organize your desk. Keep your workspace organized so you do not waste time looking for things. A good setup is: middle, books and specifications; one side, inspection tools and gauges; other side, weld replicas. This makes it easier to quickly move between the replica, reference book and measuring tools. Easy exam day strategy: read, measure, check the code, answer, move on. The main goal is to work quickly, stay organized, and avoid spending too much time on one question. Thank you for watching. For more videos, stay in touch. Like, comment, share, and subscribe.